There was a man who watched as his house was raided and his church burned to the ground. His wife and children were killed. He was taken and tortured and forced to work for the people who did it. And he wasn't alone. This happened to thousands of Hebrews who were taken from the promised land as exiles into Babylon. And while most of us haven't experienced an actual exile, everyone will go through a season that feels like it. Whether it's the sickness or loss of a loved one, a broken family or relationship, or whatever else life has in store. For me, it was a time when, within a few weeks, my grandpa got terminal cancer and my family separated again. Whatever it looks like for you, if you aren't in a season of exile now, you will be. And in that season, you can be sure that a Christian friend will quote Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future." And that is a beautiful verse. But it's only half the story. You see, Jeremiah 29 was actually a letter written to those Hebrew exiles whose lives were destroyed. And in Jeremiah 29:10, the Lord said that when 70 years were completed for Babylon, he'll come and fulfill his good promise. And you got to understand that at that time, you could live to about 60 if you were lucky, which means that almost everyone that went into Babylon died there. Yeah. So you might have to endure Babylon for the rest of your life. And knowing that, it can be easy to be a victim, to wallow in self-pity, wishing you were in the promised land. But I'm here to tell you that the promised land isn't really dependent on our circumstances. Yeah. It's available to us even in the middle of exile. And that's my challenge for you today, is you might die in Babylon. So how are you going to live there? Yeah. Where can we find the promised land in the middle of our exile? First, we find the promised land in progress. In Jeremiah 29, verse 5 and 6, the Lord tells the Hebrew exiles to build houses and settle down, to plant gardens and eat what they produce, to increase in number there and not to decrease. God's saying, look, I know your pain and loss in Babylon, but that's out of your control. You get to decide whether you're going to grow and thrive or dwindle and decay. There's a lot of progress to make in Babylon. People who need to hear the good news, broken things to make beautiful, and relationships to build. My family still hasn't been reconciled. And it would have been easy to spend the past 3 years wishing things were different. But in our exile, me and Dad have found the promised land of progress. We've gotten closer to each other and closer to the Lord. Yeah. God has given me people to reach and opportunities for spiritual growth and countless ways to glorify Him in Babylon. See, sometimes God shows His goodness through deliverance and restoration. He hasn't in my family. He didn't for many of the Hebrews. But it's just as good when God allows us to thrive in the middle of exile. So don't dwindle away waiting to be delivered. Instead, choose to live in the promised land of progress. But we can experience that progress if we aren't also seeking the promised land through the pursuit of the Lord. In Jeremiah 29, verse 12 and 13, God talks more about His hope and plan for the Hebrews, saying, "Then you'll call on me and come and pray to me, and I'll listen to you. You'll seek me and you'll find me when you seek me with all your heart." God seems a lot less concerned about their circumstances than He does with their heart. Because while we can't control what happens in Babylon, we can control what happens in us. And it's tempting to use our exile as an excuse to turn away from God or even to resent Him. And what we need to do is to seek Him and stay with Him, because we can't thrive anywhere without a thriving relationship with God. Yeah. My grandpa's cancer has only gotten worse. But I'm able to thrive in the middle of these terrible circumstances because God is with me in it. See, when we seek Him through His Word, through prayer, through worship, we'll find that we can experience the promised land no matter our situation. Yeah. So don't use your exile as an excuse for self-pity or stagnation or rejection of God. Use it as an opportunity to seek Him and grow closer to Him. Because the promised land isn't just a place, it's a posture of the heart. Yeah. And it's found through the pursuit of the Lord. So yes, you might die in Babylon, but you get to decide how you're going to live there. So choose today that when exile comes, you won't dwindle away, but you'll live and grow and flourish in the promised land of progress, of pursuit of the Lord. Because we serve a God so good that He allows us to thrive in the middle of exile. Thank you.